poison me every day. I was down with an illusion.
Hey everybody, 𝐀𝐿 here, and my students like to call me Coach Joe. I'm super excited again because I have my wonderful student Atiksh. He's been with me forever. He published his book, The Rebellion. Oh my God, I had such a fun time reading this book. He's so creative, and also his imagination. There are a lot of twists and turns in the story, and I have a lot to ask about him. I don't want to give away the plot because I want Atiksh to reveal his story, but I'm massively proud of him because it takes a lot to write a book. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and he persevered. He wrote this wonderful book, The Rebellion, and I want to welcome him. So welcome, Atiksh.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, so wonderful to have you. So I read this book, but before that, I want everybody to know about Atiksh. So do you want to share about your interests, your hobbies?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a rising junior. I play tennis. I'm trying to get better at it. I also played chess for a brief period when I was younger. I still do. It's a fun thing. I also did some research for 𝐂𝐿. I wrote a research paper on lead and how it affects the brain. And other than that, I'm just a normal kid trying to get good grades, do well on standardized tests, get into a good college, and all that good stuff.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's so nice to see you. And folks, he wrote a really good detailed research paper on how lead affects. And his research paper had all the finer details. He spent a lot of time in doing that. So if I were to describe Atiksh, it is that he's very detail oriented. He's a fast learner. He's a logical kind of a person. He loves science and math a lot. So that is why I was so surprised that he came up with this book. And there are a lot of twists and turns, and his creative side came onto it. So Atiksh, do you want to give a brief overview about your book?
Yeah, sure. So my book is called The Rebellion. It's about a character named Frank Grimes, who graduates the police academy, becomes a police officer in a dystopian / dictate totalitarian society called Urbino. It's like a really tough society. The leaders kill you for like reading a book. So initially he's all excited about being able to serve his community and stop books, and then eventually he meets a little girl that opens his mind about everything, and then he eventually starts to see the brutality of it all, and then he gets into a plan to overthrow the regime, which could cost him everything he holds most dear, including his and his family's lives.
I mean, that's a really good plot. What was your inspiration behind this whole plot?
I just thought of it like I'm an avid reader. I read a lot of books, so I got ideas from reading those books, and I kind of use them as like a template, and I put my own ideas, and I thought, and I also remembered a quote from Star Wars when Master Yoda said, "Truly wonderful the mind of a child is," and I used that part in my book. I found that quote helpful to create a critical scene in my book.
That's wonderful. All of us in my home read your book actually over the weekend, and we were discussing and we were brainstorming. And my younger son mentioned that you could have drawn inspiration from South Korea or any of those horribly restrictive countries. Is that true?
Yeah. Let me just correct you.
North Korea. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I did get my inspiration from North Korea because like when I was a freshman, I took non-Western cultures. We watched a documentary of just how barbaric North Korea is, and that also kind of inspired me. And I was horrified when I saw how barbaric the Kim dynasty in North Korea is, and what they do to their own people. So that played a role. That was a factor that inspired what I wrote.
Got it. Yeah. And also, is it correct to say that the Ukraine war hadn't started? Did that have influences in your writing as well?
Uh, not really. I mean, the Ukraine war is a tragedy, and I am heartbroken by the cruelty and barbarity of what Vladimir Putin is doing to the Ukrainian people. But no, it didn't. It didn't play a role. Not much.
Got it. Got it. And also tell us about this whole process, like, because getting to write anything by Gen Z is a drag. But how did that process work for you?
Well, my mom signed me up for Miss Neetu Rishi's program, and I'd like to thank her, by the way, because without her, I wouldn't have gotten this wonderful opportunity to write a book. And could you repeat your question?
I mean, it's very hard to get teens to write a page, but how is it that you wrote a whole book without?
I thought it would help me with my college application, to be honest with you. So also that, and I wanted to try something new, and writing this book was a new opportunity. It was an exhilarating. It had its challenges, but I tried my best to overcome them. Like one example, like my book came back from editing, I felt that I put too many words in it, so I spent a very long time trying to get those words together and trying to do the best writing that I thought I could do.
Yeah, yeah, it's quite a creative process, and it is considered a passion project when it comes to colleges, right? It shows persistence, perseverance, and passion, all the three P's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what were the challenges?
Oh, well, the challenges were sometimes I wanted to make my writing like sort of eloquent, and sometimes I struggled to like write descriptively, because that was a bit of a challenge. And also the process was very lengthy, and sometimes I was busy with school. I had tests and stuff, and I kept trying to find time. Sometimes I prioritized that because I wanted to get it done really badly. So I had to juggle a lot of things, and also sometimes I struggled. So I just tried to take a walk and get some time to think and all that.
Very nice. Yeah, I know it must have been very hard balancing the school deliverables with a project like this, right? Um, did you lose steam any time during this whole process? Did you want to just give up because of the amount of work that was involved?
Oh, I did for brief minutes, and then I thought of the rewards and all I would gain from doing this, the opportunities, sitting here right now being interviewed, as a matter of fact. Okay, that was an unexpected thing, but I wanted to reap the reward, so I just kept trud I kept moving on, just trying to do the best writing I could do.
Amazing. That's really, really good to hear. And also, I wanted to ask you, because I constantly seek feedback from students about what could be improved with the program and how the program helped. Are there any areas that we could sort of make it better? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, the program was very helpful. It certainly helped me. Well, I mean, the program also costs money, and there are people out there who can't afford these things. So, like nonprofits and stuff, like other people who are less privileged than me and others could hopefully get this wonderful opportunity.
Got it. Got it. What advice would you give to somebody who is thinking about starting to write a book?
I would tell them to, try doing it, see how it works. I mean, you never know what could happen. I mean, the worst is that no one likes it, but at least you get a chance to get your writing out there, and you'll always have the appreciation of your friends and family. Like I'm getting a lot of appreciation from my friends and family right now, and I thank them for all they did to help me with my book.
That's very nice. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the book and the characters, because that's what we are here for, right? So could you tell me, let's talk about the book, anything that you feel like, and you can also read a passage from your book that you feel is most important to you. So yeah, it's your baby. Go showcase it.
Yeah. So I should talk about like the characters in my book and stuff.
Yes, that would be really nice. How you came upon the characters, how you built this whole story. I mean, you've written so many pages, and it's a wonderful story. And I want to know how you built those characters and created the plot and everything. Yeah.
Well, I just like started at a place and then I just kept thinking of things as I went. Like in some case I like planned, like I had like an outline, and then as I sat down at my computer and typed those words out, the thoughts just kept coming, and I kept writing and trying to frame them in an eloquent but simple way.
Wonderful. You want to read a passage from your book?
Yeah, sure. I think I'll start with the first paragraph of like the book. So
Anything.
okay, okay. This is chapter 1. So victory, personal fulfillment. These were the feelings Frank Grimes felt on graduation day as he took his seat in the grand auditorium. He was graduating from the Urbino Police Academy as the valedictorian of his class. Joining the Urbino State Police, or USP, had been Frank's dream since childhood. He was deeply devoted to the totalitarian regime, and he was extremely excited about graduation, since graduation was where he would receive his first assignment. While Frank was lost in his thoughts, the director of the USP stepped up to the stage, and everyone, including Frank, fell deathly silent and waited for him to begin his traditional remarks. After taking a minute to compose himself, the chief began his speech. Good morning, everyone. Before we begin, I would like to congratulate you. You are the 100th class to graduate from the academy. And that is a paragraph.
That's wonderful. It reminds me of the Top Gun scene where, did you watch the movie, The Top Gun, where they go about graduating from this Top Gun Academy and everything? But
that sounds nice. I'll be sure to give it a look.
yeah. So what is the future? Are you planning to write a book too? I mean, how are you going to continue? Did you discover some hidden talent in you that you want to pursue? What is the next?
Well, when I wrote the end of the book, I framed it in a way that I could potentially write a sequel. So I might be thinking about doing that.
That's amazing, because I feel like this book could definitely use a sequel, right?
Okay.
Because, yeah, there are a lot of other countries that are turning barbaric.
Yeah.
Right.
It's sad. Very sad.
Yeah. So are you giving this book to your English teacher? How are you sharing it in your school?
Well, my parents have their work colleagues, so they were gonna like spread these. My dad is very interested in marketing it. He keeps giving me advice on how to market it.
Oh, that's amazing. He cares a lot about
Yeah,
you.
he is. He's a great dad. I feel very lucky to have him as my dad. He's a great man.
Yeah. Yeah, I know your dad is a math wizard. He helps you with math as well. And it's a proud moment, right? When you have like a physical book that has been published with your name written on it. It's an achievement. It's your hard work fruit of labor that your dad certainly takes pride in it, right?
Yeah, he certainly does.
Okay, yeah. And what about your research? Do you plan on expanding? You want to speak about your research a little bit, what you did?
Yeah, well, I wrote a research paper on how lead affects the brain. I mean, I thought I could do better. I mean, yeah, I think I can do better on it. So I'll try doing some more, covering other topics. Like I took AP Psych this year, and I was very interested in Sigmund Freud and his psychoanalysis theory and that stuff. So I was interested in expanding it or learning more about economics, for example, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when you wrote the paper, you had just finished your sophomore year, right? Now your knowledge,
Actually, I had finished my freshman year, actually.
yeah, freshman year, and now you're more equipped in the sense your brain has grown, the amount of knowledge that you've acquired is immense. So your research, if you continue with that, you will be able to achieve a lot more with it, right?
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. So what are your plans, future? What is it that you intend on doing?
I don't know. I want to go to college, obviously, and study something science related. I was always interested in biology. Now I was thinking about going to either medical school or law school. So I actually have a kind of a bias towards law school because I watch TV like any other kid does, and that job sounds interesting.
Yeah, because you're a problem solver. You're constantly looking to solve a problem, and you always are looking for a new challenge to push you, right?
Yeah.
That's your personality. You like to learn and grow, and that fits right in. And I'm pretty sure, wherever you aspire to go, and you'll do very well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. And do you have any parting words about your book, or you want to say
Uh,
anything about it?
well, my parting words, well, I spent a lot of time writing it. I'm proud of it. It was, yeah, I'm not going to brag, but yeah, I'm proud of what I wrote. Took effort. It took perseverance, the kind of spirit that I didn't even know I had in myself.
Yes,
So
yes, yes. It's certainly, and you have all. It's not called bragging. Please don't use that word. It's showing yourself, showcasing yourself, right? We
yeah,
are often told you're not allowed to speak about yourself, but you should. You should. It's your time, uh, right? And you've got to promote your work as well. So it's perfectly fine to speak about your achievements and your hard work, right? You put in that work, and now it is time to bathe in in the laurels and everything, right? So what would you tell a student who's taken on writing this book, and the middle is overwhelmed with everything, right? And they
uh,
want to give up. So what would your message be?
my message would be just keep going. Keep going, I guess. Yeah, keep persevering, and hopefully it'll turn out well, like it did with me. Actually, I'm kind of nervous because I'm not exactly used to giving advice to people, but
You have to. You are quite a role model, Atiksh. You don't realize that, but you are a trailblazer,
yeah.
right? You do good stuff. You try a lot. I mean, I know whatever you take on, like the chess, or I think you were in California for some band thing.
Uh,
You're always after pursuing something new.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's wonderful. So I just want to show everybody the book, The Rebellion. Please read it as like your summer reading. It's an amazing book. It's very fast paced. It's like watching the Top Gun movie. It's very fast paced. The plot is like well thought out, and it's wonderful. And I was just imagining this could be made into a movie. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would be so excited and so proud if your book is made into a Hollywood movie, right?
Yeah, let's hope some Hollywood producers are listening.
Yeah, because it's like a Jerry Bruckheimer kind of an action, kind of a scene. A scene can be, I mean, a whole movie can be made out of it, or a Netflix series. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, let's hope.
Yeah, and I will look for opportunities where we could submit your book for a series or something. When I come across that, I'm certainly going to look for it and sort of nominate your book for it. Certainly. So yeah, so it was wonderful, Atiksh, and I'm really, really proud of you. I hope your book is like the bestseller. A Hollywood producer comes and buys rights of your book, and you write the screenplay for the book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should dream on, because the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Got it? So thank you, Atiksh.
Listen me every day.